Welcome back. So, we decided to make our way towards the stone pillar in the clay hills. Apparently there's people waiting for us up there. That was pointed out as like, oh, what are they doing here? I have no idea who that is in reference to. So let's go find out.
We can make a brief stop here.
I mean, we knew they'd be here. Who's singing right now? I was expecting to go up there and see one of the Lancers, but okay.
Some sort of prayer for the people of Cray, perhaps?
Why the song?
Thank you, everyone. I know my musical talents leave much to be desired, but I am nonetheless grateful that you allowed me to finish.
Yeah, I mean, that was nicely respectful of them.
It was nothing. I mean, considering we can't even offer flowers.
It was the very least we could do for the victims. If anything, I'm grateful you gave us the chance to witness your tribute.
And I imagine you all feel much the same.
Well,
yeah. I was struggling to think of what kind of prayer to offer on our way over.
If I'm remembering correctly, that was a song by Dominique Lanster, the famed singer of days long past.
there we go. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Rufus.
That's right. Though it's also occasionally sung as a hymn during Mass.
Okay.
Yes, a song about a mother passing down her feelings to her daughter, who then inevitably does the same. And though Dominique did indeed bring this song into the wider world with that lovely voice of hers, it was originally a creation of two others. You see, the melody was arranged by the artist and revolutionary Aramis Gainsbourg. And as for the lyrics and composition, they were written by none other than Sheena Dirk, who also happened to teach Dominique the art of chanson in her final years.
What?
What?
Sheena Dirk? Like, from the history books?
The woman who helmed the revolution. Also considered to be the founding mother of the Calvard Republic. I'd heard she passed away at the age of 80, which would have been roughly half a century ago.
From the sound of it, the two must have been on awfully good terms, yes?
They were. At the time, Dominique had no family to speak of. She resorted to theft daily in order to get by.
Oh.
It was Sheena who managed to open her heart and lead her down the path of music. However, there was one other who showed Dominique an alternate path forward, which is how she ended up living two separate lives, one of fame and glamour under the spotlight, and the other righting wrongs from the shadows.
The Phantom Thief.
The Phantom Thief Grimcat. To think that was how it all began.
Putting that aside for the moment, I think the only people you haven't met here are me and Rufus, yeah? Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Kevin Graham of the Septian Church.
And I am Rufus A. It's a pleasure.
Rufus A.
Though I imagine, considering our involvement with the Retributive Tower, you must already know who we are.
And what the A stands for.
I do indeed. I'm familiar with everything related to Elysium, from its birth to its rampage, and its eventual erasure.
I imagine it influenced some of your work?
In fact, that very event marked an important turning point. It was the start of a new beginning, one which has led us to today.
Oh?
You knew? About all of it?
That professor from the Society seemed familiar with the incident too, but...
That's because he's been investigating the source of the Marduk tech that allowed them to break through the astral code.
Tower aside, you had contact with Sheena in her final years too, didn't you? If only because of your associations with people that knew her better.
Correct. You see, my mentor, Professor Claude Epstein, was called upon by the government to construct what would become Trion Tower. And as his assistant, I accompanied him in his venture to do so, as did his daughter, Lilia Epstein. In that sense, you could say we are all responsible for the events that took place half a century ago.
Oh, we're actually being shown it, okay.
Sheena, could you please talk some sense into this guy? I mean, what kind of loony gives a kid expensive doodads just for doing a few measurements?
A fine gift for all your hard work, I'd say. I think you should accept.
I agree. By the way, the land seems to meet all the requirements for the city plan.
Indeed it does. I'm grateful for all your help, young miss. As for the gift, what you do with it is up to you. But first, perhaps I should teach you how to maintain it.
Hey, Dominique! Can you turn into that super cool cat again?
Well, well, well.
What did we just...
A memory.
I knew it. These altar cores can manifest.
Visions of the past. Or perhaps we were transported back in time in much the same way you were.
Yeah, this is a thing. There's been two different ways we've had that now. Because we had the I version, which was going, like, viewing stuff that happened in the past. But those two, they seem to actually travel there. Because they interacted. Again, I'd want to speak to Lashkar and see if he knows anything.
Yes, I believe so.
It's different from the Saint's Eye, then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
In all likelihood, you weren't seeing the memories of this land. You were seeing the past itself.
No, that is what the eye does. What?
Exactly. The conversation you just witnessed was one held 57 years ago in the outskirts of the capital. It was the moment when Dominique received her compact, the Fantinox, from Professor Epstein. I was present as the professor's assistant, and Sheena and Lilia were there as well. In any case, you all saw that conversation in real time. A glimpse into the past, if you will, granted to you by the replica of the Genesis I designed, the altar core.
So you did make that device?
Yeah, well, we figured.
I was still debating whether or not it was something from previous timelines, previous loops, alternate versions.
That said, it should be impossible to meddle in the past or the future, shouldn't it? At least if you're going by the principle of causality.
If you're going by that, yeah.
But even so, the impossible has indeed been made possible. Those vestiges included.
I mean, this is a series where we've seen the past change. Several times. Several times. The key one I will point out at this point, obviously being the Crossbell arc. You know.
And all thanks to President Gramhart's plan, no? The one reaching its climax as we speak.
That is correct.
I'm liking this music.
The President's space program, Project Levitin, an indispensable component of the grander scheme.
It's got a really sorrowful feel to it. But feels like it holds importance.
If its objective is not achieved, then the world we know as Zemuria will face its imminent end before abruptly beginning anew.
Well, there we go. I was on the money then.
Though if our souls are not lost in that process, then, in a manner of speaking, you might even consider it a boon.
I mean, yeah, that is one thing to consider, because I brought up before the idea with Rosette that she comes from the previous loop, and potentially we saw her mother and father at a different point in this timeline. It would be a question of, is that just a coincidence that those people came around again, or are the same people being reborn again and again and again? Is there some mechanism to this that's bringing about the same people, the same souls? Are the souls being collected somewhere, essentially, and then being rebirthed? Is there a natural progression to it? Or is there something being forced about this world to ensure these people exist? Don't know. Depends on the mechanism.
However, I imagine it's an outcome many would find undesirable, which is why the President felt he had but one option available to him: solve the issue by utilizing humanity's strength and willpower.
Nuke the Septarian of Time.
At present, I am merely keeping a watch over his work and making sure I'm prepared for the end result, whatever that may be.
Contingency plan, okay.
Yes. After all, everything I've done was just a bit of insurance, performing experiments with the replicas that violated the goddess's divine providence, scattering Professor Epstein's geneses all throughout the Republic.
Oh, there we go.
Knowing full well that his legacy would fall into the hands of the evil that was Almada, and watching on in spite of that.
I genuinely still had that thought in my head of, how did they end up so random in their locations? Why were they not in one location?
I knew the danger that Dingo was in, and yet I took advantage of his sense of duty.
I was honestly thinking that maybe it was Gramhart that did it to make sure anything to do with Arnias didn't come into play. Like he scattered them so she couldn't collect them, and it still happened. There could have been a way they could have gone with it, but no, it was Hamilton.
And even after his passing, I continued to make use of him in order to verify the 8th Genesis's abilities, right up until the end.
No, that can't be. Marielle.
You stood by while Ace was being used and while Lapis was kidnapped.
Stood by while this place got nuked.
That's too much. Even I can't forgive you for that.
And I wouldn't expect you to.
By the way, you wouldn't happen to know how our newest enforcer managed to acquire a replica of his own, would you? Or why a certain set of armor and an intricately designed puppet disappeared from the ark?
I'm afraid I do not. Though I do know that an old friend of yours has been on the move recently.
I see. You really are quite the villain, aren't you?
Got lots of questions myself. But even so... Kevin, I'm afraid we can't allow you to come a single step closer.
The professor has provided humanitarian aid across the world. Also, Celise and I owe her a great deal. As such, we cannot stand by and let you finish your mission.
The same goes for Elsheim. We owe her a great debt for returning greenery to our capital. Though I have my reservations about this alleged device that defies the goddess. That's something we can deliberate on at another time. For now, we'll stop you, Father Kevin.
Swin, Nadia, and the rest of your group. I ask for your leniency.
Wait, what's going on? They're being enhanced by the altar core.
Our stigmas as well?
Hey, Professor. We didn't ask for your help.
This is a matter of pride. Please leave this to us.
Much like the originals, it activated on its own judgment in response to the present situation. I believe you all should now be evenly matched, though the outcome matters little to me. 12:40 p.m. The moment is very nearly upon us now. May this all be settled by then, including my final judgment.
How did it come to this?
You've got guts, that's for sure.
We're past the point where we can afford to question right or wrong. We can only press onward.
On my name as the Fifth, I declare that the heretic hunt begins now!
Okay.
Zypher activate.
Right behind you.
We'll go with the same plan as the previous fights that we've been doing.
Be more potent.
We've got the Grand
Is it
Rock
just
Fist
me,
going.
or is something coming?
I think something's coming. We'll go with the shield though, and we'll just get a little bit out here so we don't get hit by that. And let's double up so we can ensure we get the shield. Because I feel that's kind of important. I would have a little talking point here right now based on everything was said there, but I still am planning to have, at the end of this bit we're doing, a whole theory section. So I'll hold it until then.
Is it just me, or is something?
Because I've got a lot to talk about. Again, I want to catch us up before we go back to Van on where my thoughts are with everything. So I'm gonna hold off until then. Let's see here. Let's go with Celise because she's the most dangerous out of this group.
Activating skill.
It's Celise. I'm not biased. Got all of them. It's nice.
Don't care whose orders you're following. You're not getting through.
What a pity. I was hoping to avoid a confrontation with you.
Feelings mutual. You see, I've got a duty to fulfill.
Sapphire blades. Cleave them!
Moving in.
I think it would be a bad idea
I hope you're ready. May I have this done?
to unleash lots of S-crafts immediately. Just because of the delay we'd get.
Ready to help.
The delay would really mess with us with 4 of them properly attacking. Like last time in the actual story, not the garden. We had the 2 off to the sides doing orders and stuff. Like these ones though, it's all 4 of them. It's like,
Are you prepared?
I feel like I need to be really careful. Avenging order.
Tracking you.
Muster all that you can. We shift to the offensive.
You know, if you're willing, Elsheim could always handle questioning the professor on your behalf.
We ask that you withdraw, Father Kevin. Otherwise, we will resort to removing you by force.
Please.
Muster all that you can. We shift to the offensive.
Okay.
Give it up!
Stigma release.
Kevin!
Let's get serious. Still ain't done.
Thinking we will use Kevin's S-craft.
Say your prayers.
Hope she heard.
And that'll be our focus. Like using his and everyone else would just hold off
Still ain't done.
everything. I should have done something else instead of that. Thinking about it. That's fine. I need to
Seals
move
of
Kevin
mine,
to a different
inflicting
spot, to be
from the
honest.
abyss. Fly, holy spears of space. Pierce, unholy spears of time. By your opposing natures. Bring ruin to all!
Okay.
I dare you.
Boost gauge limiter removed.
Are you brats really okay with this? You know what he's gonna do, right?
That's what we came here to
Flaring
find
seal
out.
of mine.
Whether or not we are okay with it.
Yeah, we want to come to our own conclusions. So don't worry about holding back.
Because it's the last you'll ever see.
Okay, Celeste, calm down.
Hellfire
Calm down.
consumes the darkness.
Blow for blow.
Kill him dead!
Sapphire blades. Cleave them!
Yeah, I'm gonna need a shield again here.
You messed up. I won't let this chance slip.
I feel like we need a HP recovery here, so it's probably... I mean, shield surge gets 20%, that gets 25%. We do get some craft points coming in, and we get the damage up again, so I feel like, yeah.
This'll clinch it! Noble axe!
You're
In the
too
name of
kind.
possible.
Again, I feel like we need to move, if anything, we need to move away from Kevin, but I ain't got control of Lucrezia, so she's the one who needs to move away as well, but I do feel like it's, yeah, we should move away. Okay, let's actually render up this. Thinking remove buffs could be a good idea as well, to be honest.
Don't jump the gun, yeah?
Initiating drive!
Illume the darkness.
7 shots!
Moving in.
It's fine with her, I ain't got control over her, so...
Freeze. Jealouside! Blow for blow. Off the mark. Do the honors.
Let's do this! Ogen Ursha!
Blow for blow. I won't show any mercy.
Initiating drive!
Energy output maximum.
Okay. Again, I do need the shield going up, really. At the same time, I do need these guys healed up.
Easy does it.
Okay, we got different debuffs there, that's good. All the way over there, that's a problem. I'm thinking to be safe, because you guys seem to need the shield more right now.
Cypher, activate.
Ready
Here you
to
go.
help. Tracking you.
I do need a heal as well.
Here we go.
Let's get this going.
Give it your best shot.
Don't burn out, everyone. Here, take this.
My gratitude.
This is truly a fascinating crowd we have. A shame we couldn't have met at a sauna or banquet.
7 shots!
It's remarkable how much you remind me of a certain other prince.
We can still all go to a banquet together after this fight.
Blow for blow.
Adorable that she has hope for that.
Allow me. Do it to it.
Okay, we got the whale coming.
Try and reach him.
I was gonna say I was trying to get that before.
Time to shine.
Because I still got that chain. I was like, I want that chain, actually.
Allow me. You're in command, Captain Tettle. Oop, he fell. Down you go. And finish. What the?
Again, I want to take advantage of this chain.
Starting. Boost gauge limiter removed.
Now you're in for it!
I believe in you, S.
Activating skill.
You aren't getting away. Cross. Cypher. They're stunned. Guarding.
Boost gauge limit removed.
You're really not making this easy for us, are you?
Sharine's probably the best idea out of these.
Oh. You presume to challenge me?
Teach them a lesson, Rufus.
Consider the gauntlet taken, then. Disperse!
The boost gauge limit
All
has
right.
been
Seems I've been bested.
Yeah. Good. Room for me.
Licorice. Radiata.
Oh, damn.
My limit.
Wind.
That was a debuff that got him.
Cleave my
You
foes!
could hear it.
To be frank, I'm a bit insulted she thought we needed help from the White Orb Mint.
Well, if a certain someone on the other team isn't shy about underhanded tactics, We shouldn't be either.
Still got that sharp tongue of yours, I see. Well, if you're gonna call me a cheater, I may as well cheat my heart out.
Ready to help.
We should kind of try and see about taking advantage of this situation. Really?
Backing you.
I owe you.
Here we go!
Because we just got a crit. Like, move us back over here a little bit. It's like, yeah.
Seals of mine, conflicting from the abyss. Fly, holy spears of space. Pierce, unholy spears of time. By your opposing natures. Bring ruin to all! I dare you.
Hey, hey, hey. That's my chain you're using there. How dare you.
Thunder Spirit, descend on me! Burst forth! Psycha Karsalama!
Okay, we survived. We're good.
I must fulfill my duty at all costs.
I won't show any mercy.
I think trying to get rid of Celise and Leon's probably a good idea, actually, at this point.
Got this in the bag.
Activating
Get anything
skill.
else? No.
I'll end this now! Ross! Cypher! Guarding!
Damn it. I can still...
Now then,
We're down to the two of them. That's good.
your end. It's nigh! Blow for blow.
If it's a fight you want, are you prepared?
Are you prepared? Let's get rid of this debuff because it's
jump the gun,
probably
yeah?
important. To get rid of that first.
Ha!
Lovely.
We're not through yet.
How's our shield situation looking?
You have an Arthur
It's really only Nardi that's got the shield. So,
Easy does it.
probably best we come in with a shield surge, then just protect ourselves a little bit.
Sharp command.
That's a heat.
Brazilian.
And then still come out with an avenging order.
Time to make a reprisal. Here's a lesson they won't forget.
Ready yourself. Moving in. Hey-ya!
Blow for blow.
We should keep the focus on Kevin mostly, that's fine.
Cleave my foes!
So we've got him over there on his own.
You messed up.
Give me victory.
It's okay, it wasn't too bad.
Bloom for me.
Bloom for me.
Licorice Radiata!
That's the one that can be dangerous.
Blow for blow.
Allow me.
Okay, we can't get any more there. We got that on us again. The stupid debuff you keep giving me.
Stay on guard.
Like, I'd like to have an opportunity to get my shield back up, please. But I can't risk that right now.
Now, return to dust from whence you came. Bring forth eternal serenity to a world stained with vice. Niflheim!
Ooh. Okay, we're still good, we're still good.
Time to shine.
Time to shine.
Here's the kicker.
Our health is fine.
We're doing good.
The Dreaded and Deaded could be good. Twice, especially.
Allow me. Take this and this. I'd say sorry, but I'm really not. Guarding. One more time.
You know, yeah, one more time, one more time.
Allow me. These are for you. Threaded and deaded. Guarding.
Shameful.
The one I really wanted it on was Leon.
Good chance.
COC, activate!
Suppose I could have gone for it, actually.
In the name of Oswald.
Let's get Stigma Release going. That's
Sacred
obviously wise.
Empower me!
Empowering from the
Here we
abyss.
go!
Shut up, shut.
The jig is up!
Can't run from me! Kablam! I dare you! Here we go!
Nice on the boost. Let's actually bring out some damage up there.
This'll clinch it! Rebel Axe! It's a million!
And again, same again. It's a nice small amount that should get us back to 200.
This'll leave a mark.
Bring this out.
Suck it! Floored him!
Let's stun
I
her.
dare you! Make it happen, Nadia!
Okay, so this should finish Leon off.
Certain arts
Also
will
build
be
everything
more
up with our
potent.
chain, which will be good for
Allow me.
Kevin's.
You're in command, Captain Tettle!
And then we should be
Oop,
in
peace
command.
out. Down you go! And finish!
What the?
Guarding!
We mustn't relent.
Allow me!
Okay, that should be quite good for us, because again, look at the turn order. We've got a nice backup incoming.
The jig is up!
Seals of mine, conflicting from the abyss. Fly, holy spears of space. Pierce, unholy spears of time, by your opposing natures. Bring ruin to all!
I failed.
There we go.
Racking up those macho points, am I right?
I'm that much closer to his level.
I'm on the up and up.
I'm a long ways behind Father yet.
Oh, that's not all I've got in me.
Still not strong
I
enough.
forgot she was there, to be honest. Lucrezia, that is.
You shitbag!
Oh dear.
You combined your stigma with the Saint's Eye? How was that even fair?
I didn't know we were playing fair. I mean, you did use the Genesis, or the Altar Core even. So, you know, I think, you know, if we're talking fair...
Curses. We didn't stand a chance, even with the replica's power.
Your Highness, please step back.
Come on, Kevin. Come on.
No, stop! Wait, Kevin, hold on!
We said we'd only go so far with you. If you're going to shoot first and ask questions later, then we've got plans of our own.
This is why I was against bringing you kids in the first place. Professor LaToya Hamilton, let's say we put an end to this. Even if you're not doing this for personal gain, that doesn't change the fact that you're still the enemy of Zemuria, a threat that needs to be eliminated. But I'm sure you know that better than anyone.
Indeed I do. Yourself included, given how you keep finding ways to delay pulling that trigger.
Behind us!
He's strong! Oh my!
Swin! Nadia!
We've seen that sword before,
Their swordsmanship.
haven't we? Well, considering there's 3 of them.
My. I wish you wouldn't play around so much, Professor. We may be indefinite beings, but ones such as you had best be more cautious.
I didn't expect you 3 would show up here.
These bastards! They're the ones Arkwright fought!
New vestiges. But their aura is on another level.
LaToya! Get started.
Understood. I'll put up a feed of the launch site.
20, 19, 18.
The time has come.
16.
Again.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1.
1 p.m. exactly. And now we shall see whether the sword can truly destroy the cradle.
Yeah, it was obvious it was going to end there, though. Yeah, I'm assuming those 3 vestiges are Sheena Dirk slot.
We've done well.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. All right. So,
our rank has risen.
Arkwright Solutions rank rose to
Receipt confirmed.
No.
Oh, nicely done. I'm not gonna say no.
No, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna make a cut here and like end my recording, but the video is obviously going to continue because you probably see the bar carries on at the bottom. You know how that works. Because what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to properly edit a section here where we're going to talk about the theories and catch up on where my thoughts are. I feel that's the correct thing to do right now. So I'll pass over to that. And that'll be future me who's sorting stuff in the edit. So over to you, future me, with the theory. Okay then, so how we're going to do this is I've got a series of questions I've posed myself as a way to approach the topic of what I want to talk about. I think that's the best way of doing it, like pose a question to myself and then explore my answer to that question. It'll make sense as we go through it. In total, there's going to be 14 questions. There was originally 13, but this is me editing even after the fact where a 14th one appeared during me talking about the theories. Yeah. So, question 1. Why did Anya's have to go back to Edith? Now, this one happened recently, obviously, and my thoughts there are very much that she was called back by Gramhart in order to try and protect her. He's got some idea of what's going on in the grand scheme of things, hence the space mission, and he's called her back to try and protect her. Could be other motives, but right now that's where I'm feeling with that. Number 2. What happened to Sophie, Anya's mother? What I'm thinking there is that the world of Zumeria is obviously going through loops, as we've kind of just had a confirmation from Hamilton on that. And as a result of these loops, it's reaching an endpoint and it's going to go back to the beginning. Whatever the beginning is, probably the start of the Septine calendar. That's the bit that makes sense to me. But I feel there's a sense of a failsafe that's in place that gives this world a second chance, a third chance, to restore it back to a certain save state, similar to what we've seen over in Daybreak 2. And I feel part of that is connected to how the Genesis work, how Anya's connection to it works. I feel that's happened in the past as well. So I feel it's a case of the world was about to rewind, it was about to reset, and Sophie did something, probably involving the Trion Tower and the Genesis, in order to make the world go back a set period of time. But it'll change the world in such a way that it'll make it seem like now she's dead. It'll make her appear in that essence to be ill and like, oh, illness took her. What illness? And I feel that happened as well with Anya's grandmother. This is a repeating pattern as well, where they're just pushing it back to just give you a second, third chance again. You've almost got it. You've almost broken free of this loop, but you've not got all the pieces in place. Similar to what we had with the Bamotti connection event, where he pointed out not everything is ready. You're not going to achieve the goal you want. That aim is not there. yet. So what I feel is going to happen with Agnes is what's already happened with Sophie. Agnes is probably going to use the Trion Tower in some regard to activate the Genesis, force everything back a few years, maybe a few decades, and rewrite everything to make it appear that she has died. Then that causes a change in the timeline and it diverges into a different path, hopefully giving these guys another chance for this world to be saved, for the loop to not happen. Which does come into my third question. What is Gramhart's plan? What is Roy's plan? I feel as a result of this mini reset, if you want to call it, this mini going back as a result of what Sophie did, some people remember certain aspects. They become aware, similar to what we've had in the past with Lecter as a theory, where like there's this latent image, this idea of people being aware of something's going on in the background. Certain events have happened again and again, and they're noticing it, they can pick it up. Just that idea of the latent image. There's just something in the back of their minds of, this has happened before. I feel Gramhart knows this. He's aware of what happened on the previous mini reset and wants to try and avoid that happening again with Agnes, because he saw it with Sophie, so now he wants to avoid it with Agnes. Now, the way he's going to try and go about that would obviously be try and destroy the cause of it. Destroy what is causing the loops, which has to obviously be the Septarian of Time. It has to be. That's the only thing that makes sense with this whole logic of everything going on right now. And the fact there's a space mission, we've been through it before, obviously, but collecting all the thoughts together, the Septarian of Time is up in space. It is up at the canopy, the firmament. It is up there, probably protected by Steel, the Great One, Ishmelga, whatever you want to call that. It's probably got some kind of protection going on there in some regard. Which then brings me to point 4. What is Excalibur for? Excalibur, I feel, is very much there because, again, Gramhart in my theories here, he knows what's going on. He's aware. So they need something that can fight what's up there. He is probably already aware as well. There is something up there that could potentially protect the Septarian of Time. So he needs something that can fight it. Something as powerful as Ishmelga, which is why he brought in Reen and Crow, because they too have fought something as powerful as Ishmelga during the Twilight. So if they can fight off against Excalibur, that's why they were brought in, because he needs to see if this thing's capable enough to take on anything up there that could be as powerful as what Reen and Crow have taken on before. It makes sense for that to be the case for me. But the question is sort of like, where did Calvert get the technology to make Excalibur? Because it is on a similar level to the Divine Knights. And I do feel it's somehow related to the statue that Kevin retrieved from the Cray area. I mean, it is named Excalibur. There's a statue of something akin to a Divine Knight in stone. So you're saying Excalibur in stone? The sword in the stone? You know, that's the kind of logic I'm thinking there. That's potentially where it's got its name from. It's been retrieved from the stone. But the question would be, based on the conversations we've had in Cray about that stone statue, that was taken back to Artera. So how did Calvert get their hands on it? How did they get their hands on the technology? And all I can think is, if Excalibur was the statue and that was retrieved by the church, what if they have used something akin to the altar cores or the Genesis to also have a, what if it wasn't taken? What if we got to it first? What if we retrieved it? So technically there's 2 at the moment. There's one that's a statue in a stone and all that type of stuff over at Artera, and there's also one that's being used in a similar aspect to the Vestiges in a way, and the Executors. It's something brought from a previous possibility, a previous timeline. Yet, obviously with the Vestiges, like Giacomo for instance, They were cremated, they were buried. There's records of this. So how have they been brought back? They're not the same thing. They are two different things from two different timelines. That could be the same of the Excalibur situation. As to which one's which, not sure there on that point. Not sure. But there is also an aspect that will lead me to point 6 of my question. Is the Guardian in Liberl that we've seen previously an executor? Because Kevin did point out they were similar, so there's got to be some connection there. There's some element. And the fact they brought up the genocide mode. That is something we've heard before over in Sky. There definitely seems to be some kind of connection to what was pre-Septian calendar to what the executors are. So I do feel like there is some connection there. I've not got much more on that. I just feel like it's something we should have in our thoughts as we go forward. I do definitely feel like we should have that aspect in our minds. There is some connection to the Liberl Guardians. As to what, don't know. There is a similar element of design to them as well. Maybe it's a previous timeline, a previous loop, where they learnt from the technology in Liberl in that area and made the executors, potentially. That could be one way of going about it. So, now on to question 7. Why was Anya's wearing her uniform so significant in that rooftop scene? To the point that even people in the comments were saying, really, make sure she has her uniform on. Why? It has to have some significance. It was mentioned in dialogue quite significantly. And again, you guys in the comments ensured that I did have the uniform on. So, as a result, I've been thinking about it for a while. Why would she have the uniform on? Why would that be important for the rooftop scene? And the only conclusion I can come to is that it makes her seem much younger in Van's eyes. It would make it easier for him to be like, look, no, I can't return those feelings. That would just be wrong. It makes it easier for him and therefore easier for her to accept the rejection because she's kind of in her head made that happen. That is what I feel as an aspect of that scene. She's trying to make this easier for Van. She knows this outcome is going to happen and she's going to make it much easier for the both of them. But then my question becomes, why would she want to make it so much easier? Because then it makes it easier for her to do whatever she's about to do. Because she's up to something. And like I said, I feel it's going to be the same as what Sophie did. And her grandmother that I can't remember the name of. For some reason. Is that Iliad or something? Something along those lines. But yeah, that the uniform aspect, that was significant for that, to make the whole thing easier for Van and herself. On to question 8. So, why is there a canopy? Why is there a firmament? I feel it is an element of something significant happened to the world in the past, and it is being protected somewhere. It is outside normal space-time. The world of Zumeria is somewhere else now. There is nothing beyond the canopy in the sky. Whether it's a case of the world has become digital, being stored somewhere, or it is a physical place that has been created where Zumeria is, got many different possibilities there. Nothing I'm firmly attached to as an idea apart from one, which is Nayuta. I keep coming back to that in my thoughts. There is so much in Nayuta that points to the worlds being connected. Not connected in a way of like, oh, the worlds are going to recombine, they're going to come together, or anything like that. I feel like the stories have diverged. But I feel the origin point of everything that happens in Nayuta, I'm trying to avoid Nayuta spoilers, just so you know. I want to try to be careful with that. I feel whatever happened in the past of Nayuta, if you know, you know, led to what happens in their world. But I feel what happened there also is the reason why Zumeria is the way it is. Why it just seems to be a continent, just seems to be part of a world. Because we've heard of, like, you can't travel beyond the sea. There's no way to travel further. You can't travel out from Zumeria. There's just a cutoff point. How can there be a cutoff point if it's a sphere? We've seen maps and globes throughout the story. I've been keeping an eye on it for ages. We've seen that. Yet there doesn't seem to be a way to travel beyond the horizon. Why? That is the significant question there. So I feel like, why is there a canopy? It's the edge of the world. It's just, that's it. I honestly don't feel an element of it's protecting something or there's something beyond that edge. I just feel that is the edge. There is nothing. There's just nothing more, which is why the canopy is there. That's the boundary of the world. And in order to not panic people below, there is a projection of stars, planets, sun, moon. Because I do feel there is other planes of existence, like the beyond. I don't think the beyond is beyond the canopy, oddly enough. I think it is just another plane of existence. So I don't feel it's a case of you could potentially pierce the canopy and salt would come pouring out. You know, that kind of thing. I feel you pierce in the reality of space and then salt comes pouring out. Northumbria, you know. I just feel that's the edge of what Zumeria is. There is nothing more. You cannot go further. There is nothing more. If the Septarian of Time is up there, as I'm thinking, because that makes sense of everything, it's going to be either on the edge of the canopy or in front of it. And I also feel that the time loop aspect, as I've mentioned before, only takes place within a certain area within the canopy. So while there's a bubble that would essentially be what Zumeria is, there's a smaller bubble where time is being looped. Everything outside of that time bubble can last, can remain, will pass on to the next loop, which is why I feel the whole Ishmelga steel is up there. It's still there. That's from Cold Steel 4's other ending. That's still up there because it happened and everything changed and went back, but only within a certain area. So it's almost like there's two horizons, if you want to put it that way. There's a time horizon and a space horizon, and they don't match the same location. So now speaking more about time, number 9. Why does Yun Kafai know so much? Honestly, I think it's probably just a simple case of he's a member of the society. He is part of Ouroboros. He is an Angui. Because I still feel they have their own little space, the celestial globe, outside of everything that protects them. Because I've still got that idea in my head that there is little spaces where you could potentially survive any loop reset, such as outside of the time bubble area that gets reset, or the celestial globe, or what I'm thinking with the church, the primal grounds. The original one, at least. That there are places in this world where you can avoid the reset. Some people survive. Like I feel that happened with Rosette in some way. Maybe she ended up in some aspect that's outside of time. How she got to current time, though, I imagine it was some kind of piece of technology. Oh, because we saw that scene before where she was in a sort of protective chamber, like just protecting her, keeping her alive. Maybe that survived. It's a cryostasis tube of some regard. Like maybe that kept her alive for like 1,000 years or something like that. Like, or kept her frozen for 1,000 years until the time was right. Again, there's so much of like how the loops work. There's too many possibilities, too many outcomes with that. But I do feel like that's the general idea they're going with. How it's accomplished, not sure yet. Then on to a question that came up recently. This one I kind of need people who are massively more adept, the best way of putting it, with Japanese than me. Falcom's recent announcement about the next arc being the end. Is that relating to what Kevin keeps mentioning? That's my theory. It's like, well, yeah, she's the saint of the end. So they keep saying the next arc for Trails is going to be the end. What's the translation on what Falcom said there? Could that be interpreted in that way? Or is it like, no, it's that the next arc is going to be the final arc. There is not going to be any more. Because that could pinpoint some more theories. Did they say the next arc is going to be the end? Or did they say the next arc is the last arc for Trails? Because one could be them trying to trick us and be like, oh yeah, the next arc is the end. Which is not the same, because it could be that's an area or a situation called the end, rather than it is the final arc. So that one is like, I've got a theory, but it depends on what the translation is there. So I defer to you guys, people who know. What was the translation there? Did they say the end, or did they say it'd be the final, the last? Because I feel there's a significant difference there with how you could word it. That's wild speculation theory. I want to point out that one. That's wild speculation because I'm not even sure that even makes sense. Depends what they said. So, number 11. What is Mare? Now, I'm still going back to my same thought over and over again that Mare is the holy beast of time. It starts for me with the aspect of her design where there's a lot of time motifs in her design. Like some of her clothing looks like clock hands. That feels like it's going to be significant in some regard. But I still feel it has that element of she's not the holy beast of time currently. She's an AI recreation of the holy beast of time. So the holy beast of time could still be out there somewhere. But she is a remnant of one from a previous loop. A recreation. Or maybe they're tapping into the holy beast of time at Marduk with their technology. Definitely feels like it's something from before, but something that's very, very aware. The other possibility I can see with Mare is it's Sophie. This is what remains from Sophie in the previous iteration of this loop. This is the one where it's like bit came through, a bit remains, and that was Sophie coming through. So it's Anya's mother. It's a wild theory on that one, but we've seen how wild it can get elsewhere. I have to put that in my thoughts and feelings bit here. Like, yeah, I could see that being that case of she is the remnant of what happened previously. Which, if everything is going the way I think it's going, and Anya's is going to cause a little jump back, and then it's going to be as if she died, maybe we'll get a new Mare that is actually a version of Anya's. It's a remnant of what was there before. That's how it's passed on in some regard. So, on to question 12. Is the future water Hamilton got actually the cause of the desertification? Because we know that she's been taking the water from the future. Now, I imagine there's some element to how everything works where it'll cause causality to correct itself. I feel there's going to be an element of that. It's not going to be a simple case of, oh, the water just one day disappears and the future just bloop, it's gone. I feel it's all going to disappear very quickly over a short period of time. Just be like, right, and then it's gone. Which could be the desertification. The reason that's happening is because in the past she took it from the future. So that's the reason it's not there. It's like it's almost like a self-fulfilling loop where it's like, well, the reason like they've not got any water is because you took it because they didn't have any water. It just becomes a loop of you caused the result, which caused the solution. It's possible. I just wanted to get that one out there because that's entirely possible as well. So, 13. What was with that scene in the garden when we went to visit Anya's house? The one where Van pointed out he feels nostalgic, and it isn't the first time he's felt nostalgic either. I feel this relates to some of the stuff I mentioned, like Graham Hart's plan, what Anya's might be up to, what happened with Sophie. I feel that all relates to that. I feel on the previous iteration of this timeline, the one where Sophie was alive, she was around, I feel pretty much all the events happened very similar to what we've still got going on now, but Sophie was there. So Van is remembering this time. He's got some element, again, that idea of the latent image. He remembers coming to Anya's house, maybe invited by Sophie, and he's remembering that. There's similar events that are happening again, and he can remember that. Now, while I feel that's significant for what's happening with Sophie, I feel that could be an indicator of where this story is going. So if Anya's goes through with whatever she's planning and potentially erases herself from time and the timeline adjusts and course corrects to make it seem like Anya's has died, she died of some mysterious illness, that kind of thing. I feel then that Van is going to have that feeling of nostalgia again because of certain events and be like, wait, but it would get stronger and then he'd remember everything that happened exactly like in my theories with Gramhart, where it's like he will remember what happened before and now act differently. He will now change course, put into motion plans to save Arnias, to save the timeline, to save all of Zumeria. Maybe work with Gramhart and be like, look, I know you remember. I remember now. Other people remember. Arkwright Solutions remember. We're going to change what happened. And I feel like we can still save Arnias. Be like, how? Be like, well, that kind of thing is where I feel like that nostalgia scene is pointing towards, where it's like it's putting the seeds in place for these ideas to sprout into solutions to what's going on. The idea that this has happened again and again and again recently. So all part of what the Genesis are about, like giving you second, third, fourth chances again to try and make sure you get it right. And it's going to be one last time, because there is no one left after Arnias for this, is there? It's bloodline related. There is no one after this. There is no one left for the bloodline. This is it. This is your last chance, or the time loop is going to happen again. Reset, boom, you're back to where you were. That's what I feel that's pointing towards. That's what I feel that feeling of nostalgia is, setting up the idea that Van is aware that these things are happening again. So, on to question 14, which is the extra one that I came up with during all my thinking there. As I mentioned at the beginning of this little bit, it was quite long actually. But anyway, number 14. If the destruction of the Septarian of Time is the aim of Gramhart's plan, wouldn't the Septarian of Time already know the outcome and will just undo the destruction? Wouldn't it know that that's going to happen? Because you got to think, Septarian of Time, it's not the Septarian of the past, it's not the Septarian of the present, it's the Septarian of Time, all of it. Past, future, present. It's going to know the outcome. So it's going to have some mechanism in itself to be like, hey, I know you're going to try and destroy me. I'm going to make it so you can't destroy me. How do you destroy something that knows it's going to be destroyed? That I don't have an answer to. All I'm thinking is we're going to see the rockets go up, be like, yay! And it's like, maybe the whole idea is Excalibur takes on whatever is up there protecting it potentially, which is probably Ishmelga, Steel, whatever you want to call it, the Great One. That's in its way. So Excalibur's going to take that on, like, boom, get out the way. And then it's going to be a full-on launch of the Septarian of Time. Like, maybe there's a nuke or something inside the actual rocket that's going up as well. And that's fired at the Septarian of Time, which I imagine is the big box thing on the artwork, because we still haven't seen that come up. So I'm assuming that's the Septarian of Time. It's the only thing that makes sense now. It's like, there's nothing left that it could be. Like, oh. So I'm assuming the big box is the Septarian of Time. So we launch a nuke at that, but it's going to know that happens, right? Be like, oh no, they're going to nuke me. So if I was the Septarian of Time and be like, I know that's all going to happen. All right, you're launching your spaceship, are you? You launch it towards me. You're going to fire a big nuke at me. All right, reset now. There's no reason it's not going to go, hey, I'll just cause the reset to happen now. I'll just screw you then. I'm going to bring forward the reset now. That makes sense. Why would it not do that? Or it'll have a mechanism to be like, oh, you think you destroyed me? Undo. Because it already knows it happened. So just be like, no, it didn't happen. Like, but it did. No, it didn't happen. But it did. No, I just made it so it didn't happen. It's the Septarian of Time. How do you defeat something that controls time when it can see its outcome? So I feel it is a case of Gramhart's got his plan to destroy the Septarian of Time. It's not going to work because it already knows it's going to be destroyed, which leads to Arnias has to do what she's got to do, which is then give everyone one last chance to fix this before it resets everything back to zero. Yeah. So that's all my thoughts and feelings on where everything is right now, based on everything we've had, based on everything we've done in the past with all the theories. I think I've covered everything I want to talk about. I think. It's probably something I've missed. Probably something. There's all the little things here and there, I imagine, that have slipped through the cracks, as it were. But hope you enjoyed that little theory talk. That'll be the end of this part. We'll see you in the next part when we head on over to Van's room. So we'll see you there. Ta-da for now.